Hello everyone, so welcome to a new episode of the Ironman. As I said in the last episode, we will be going for ROTM complete in this episode. However, it won't take a full episode to do that quest, unlike the last two grandmaster quests that we were working on. So I do have another goal as well, which I want to get a bunch of prayer experience. No, there's no real set goal in mind, but I did plan out a method for me to get to about level 82-ish prayer without having to train any prayer. And that sounds really cool, and it's going to save me a lot of time and or money, depending if I want to do the L City method of prayer or I don't know. But it'd be cool to get Turmoil unlocked someday, and I'm going to be questing a little bit and doing some other stuff to get prayer up. But first of all, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and hand in a quest here, because we're just right here. By Ali the Wise, Curse of a Rav completes 77k XP from doing that quest. And hey, guess what? From that quest, I got 76 mining, which is the requirement of ROTM. And I also got 77 agility, also the requirement of ROTM. Wow, that's really convenient. It's almost like I planned that or something. But hey, sometimes things just work out for you. Anyway, I have to do the temple at Sentiston next, and then we can do ROTM. It's so hype. Okay, so we just finished up temple at Sentiston. We get 2 quest points and some XP lamps. Not a whole lot of XP from this quest, which is a little bit strange how there wasn't that much, considering the requirements of this quest are quite hefty. But I suppose that I can now pray at this altar and I can unlock curses. There's not much sense in doing so yet because I haven't unlocked Soul Split, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and change back to the regular prayers, because then I have access to Piety and Rigor and Augury, which are a lot more useful than curses until I get 92. But let's go ahead and get some XP. And can I put this in prayer? I can put it in summoning, so let's go ahead and do that. Prayer would be even more awesome, I think. But getting a decent amount of summoning XP from that, and then this will go in Herblore. And this means that we should be finally ready to do ROTM. I believe I have everything done. Everything's ready. Let's go do that quest now. Well, that was quite a journey, but ROTM is done. Unfortunately, all of the highlights are over, so it's just cashing in the quest right now. But I should get a really good amount of XP, and also unlock not 1, but 2 new Slayer tasks. First of all, we unlock Glaciers, and then on top of Glaciers, we're also going to be unlocking the ability to do automatons, because I needed that. So I get up to 77 crafting after the quest. That's pretty cool. And let's use these XP lamps in Herblore. I'm excited for that. 80k XP times 3, which will come to a total of 240k Herblore XP. Really nice. And that will get me a couple of Herblore levels as well. Up to level 78, I can make Juju farmings. Cool. Alright, well that's ROTM done. What's my next goal, you might be asking? The next thing that I want to do is the quest Blood Runs Deep. And the reason why is because you get 450,000 prayer XP as reward. You can choose prayer XP. However, I have to claim the reward from completing the hard frenetic task set first, which is going to be a huge pain on the Ironman because I have to collect all this stuff myself. But I'll go ahead and get working on that. So I did wind up doing Blood Runs Deep, and I did manage to get Balmung, so that could be useful for killing DKs in the future, perhaps, especially if I ever decide to go for the enhanced Balmung, and that would be able to train some divination as well. But the main reason why everyone does this quest is 450k XP, and you can use it in prayer. Unlike most quests that give combat XP that are jerks and do not allow you to spend the XP in prayer, this quest it does, and oh boy is it worth it. That's so much prayer XP, incredibly helpful for Ironman, and that did get me all the way up to level 79 prayer, which is just ridiculous. That saves so much money, because probably how I'll wind up trading prayer in the future is by alching a whole ton of stuff from camping spiritual mages or something like that. That's pretty good money. And then just spending that all at the Heffen Monastery training prayer, because that's probably a lot easier than gathering dragon bones. But who knows? We'll play it by ear, see how it goes. And then also, after the quest, I had a plan to do Nomad's Requiem, because you get 70 zeal points. And that was enough for about 150k-ish prayer XP if I was able to spend that on prayer. But as I soon found out, that was not a thing that could happen. But it would have been cool. Unfortunately, Ironman can't spend zeal on prayer points or any type of XP at all, because I guess Jags thought the 14 or 13k prayer XP per hour that doing Soul Wars is a little bit too overpowered versus the 100k prayer XP per hour that you can get by killing Frost Dragons. But I don't know. I don't completely understand that myself, but that's how things work. But at least I got a sweet blue cape from doing this quest, and that does grant a very hefty prayer bonus. So if I ever have to do a Slayer task where I have to pray the entire time and I don't have access to the Bone Crusher method of getting prayer back, I will be able to wear this cape, and that's pretty awesome. And Yep, you can't claim XP in Ironman mode, and you can't buy charms either. The only thing that you can spend zeal on is pets, but, I mean, really, who wants those? But it is what it is. After now slaying for quite a while, I'm going back to it, and we got 85 Slayer, unlocked Abyssal Demons, also unlocked the Elf City Slayer Master, but I can't use them yet because you do need 120 combat as well. I'm only 116, so I have 4 more combat levels to go. However, I must say I'm not going to be using Morvran until I get a full Slayer Helm, because Curdle does assign Jungle as well as Desert Strike Worms, and Morvran does not. So I'm going to have to stick with Curdle until I get that Slayer Helm. So heck, I might even be getting 99 Slayer with Curdle, depends on the luck that happens. But I'm definitely not switching over to Morvran until that happens. But it's awesome getting Abbey Demons. I'm going to be putting those on the prefer list as soon as I get a task of them, which shouldn't take long, they're fairly common. Okay, so I probably have a few goals to explain, and I also want to go off and what is going to be the direction for this Ironman account now that I've done all these quests and everything. Well, there's a few things that I want to do. Obviously, my ultimate goal is to get an Ascension crossbow. It's been stated at the start of the series. However, how I want to do that is I want to be using a Royal crossbow because I will have to kill TDs. I'll probably have to kill a lot of TDs, and even though I could use chaotic crossbows and a chaotic staff, it's very, very annoying to kill TDs with a chaotic crossbow. So what I will be doing is I will be getting a Royal crossbow, but to do that, first of all, I need to get 80 smithing, and then I will need to make the Dragonbane bolts. So that's going to take quite a while to get 80 smithing. How I'm planning on doing that is superheating in the Living Rock Caverns, and how I'm planning to do that is first I need to collect some nature runes. The reason why I'm at Runespan is I'm going to train my rune crafting up a little bit, and in about 20 odd levels or so, I have a goal set to 91 just because I want to get to 91 one day, but in about 20 odd levels I should get enough pure essence from that chest thing to get enough pure essence so I can craft a bunch of nature runes. In total I'll need about 19,000 nature runes, which is a lot, or 19,000 pure essence to craft. But once I have all those, then I can just get 1 mining level to 77, then I can get 3 more mining levels at the LRC to 80, and then I can spend a whole bunch of time. It won't be that long, 1 mil smithing XP, but that's only about 11 hours or so, which isn't too bad in the grand scheme of things. That'll get me 80 smithing, and then I can finally make Dragonbane. So yes, it's going to be a very long goal, but the one good thing is I can AFK most of it, almost this entire thing, except for the crafting nature runes part. Everything else is AFKable. And that means I can finally work on PVMing on my main account because I have not been doing very much of that and I really need to. So this is probably a blessing in disguise. So I apologize for the long clip, but that's going to be my goal. It's going to take a really long time. It's probably going to take like a week or so to get all of this done and get those Dragonbanes and get my chaotic crossbows and start killing QBD. But when I get there, it will be awesome. Okay, time for a small milestone. I have a couple daily challenges to turn in. One was fishing and I think the other one was cooking. So let's go ahead and turn that in. I should get a couple levels. I did get a cooking level and a fishing level, and along with that, I got 2,000 total. So up to 77 fishing, up to 72 cooking. Obviously, those levels are really no big deal, but it's the 2,000 total level milestone. That's pretty cool. So I'm really glad we reached that. 116 combat, nothing too special. So I figured out, kind of calculated that I need to get to about 75 rune crafting, and that also allows me access to the giant pouch. So that's kind of my current goal right now, and then I can start to create nature runes. Okay, I should be finally finishing up rune crafting. It was a long road, so hot and cold, but we finally got it done. 75 RC, awesome. So the reason why I went to 75 RC is I can now use the giant pouch, hold extra essence, and also I should, hopefully, have enough pure essence now after I claim a little bit more from the wizard's chest in order to make a total of 19,000 nature runes, and I have about 1,500 in my bank already. So let's go ahead and claim some rune essence from the rune chest here. Hopefully I got a decent amount. 4.5k. I'll take that, and hopefully this is enough. I'm hoping, I do know as your rune crafting level continues to go up, until you get to 91, you have a higher and higher chance of making double nature runes per pure essence. So hopefully I will be able to get that effect fairly often with 75 RC, and I should be able to make, well, a lot more nature runes than I have pure essence. Okay, so I camped harps a little bit too long, but I was working on stuff, but I should have enough. Well, I should have way more than enough to make my crystal pick now. I believe you only need 4,000 to make a crystal tool. I will eventually get the crystal hatchet as well, but we're going to get the crystal pick first because the current goal is mining. So that's what we're going to work on. I believe Lady Ethel is the one that does it for you. Should probably have to talk to her. And then, will you make me a crystal hatchet or pickaxe? I have plenty of harmonic dust. It should be great. Use the dragon pickaxe in my tool belt. Thank you very much, and I'm already almost halfway to the crystal hatchet as well. Alright, well it's time to get up to 80 mining, which might take a little while, but as soon as that's done I can finally start working on smithing. And that's going to be a while, but it's going to be awesome when I get to 80. Okay, so I'm almost done with the nature rune crafting. I decided to do this before I got 80 mining just because I wanted to get it over with, and it took quite a while. Wasn't necessarily that fun, but I should have all of my nature runes done now for 80 smithing. I needed 19.4k gold ores smelted until I get to 80 smithing, and I currently have 18.2k nature runes, and you might be thinking that's not 19.4k, but I'm going to do my daily runs of running to all the shops and buying out all the runes. That'll get me another 900 runes, and then I'll be 19.1, and then I additionally have 838 gold ores that I can smelt here. So I have more than enough gold ores in these and the nature runes to get me 80 smithing. It's going to be a long road though, so hot and cold, but we'll make it eventually. Man, I'm really not looking forward to this. So I think we're going to finish off our smithing journey here. Admittedly, I've done nothing for the past, I think, 3 days other than mining and smithing, so no clips were recorded. Man, this Ironman video is going to be so late. I just got 78 smithing, but in the interest of time and in the interest of being able to upload again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here at 78. I do need 82 in order to make Dragonbane bolts. My plan was to get 80 and then boost with the mature green man's ale or a mature smithing drink, and I do have some in my bank as a reward from requests, but what I'm going to try to do is spicy stew up to 82 so that I can make the Dragonbanes and then start killing QBD. And the only thing I need left is 80 fletching in order to make the Dragonbanes. However, thankfully fletching is faster than smithing and also much more AFK, so that should be a much easier thing to get. I was able to get the +4 smithing boost in order to make the Dragonbane bolts. Didn't take too long, about half an hour. I had one of my friends say he got +5 boost in about 10 minutes, and he must have been lucky because it took me longer than that. But then I found out I was going to get 77 fletching and then use a fletching potion to boost, but unfortunately you needed to complete as a first resort quest to make fletching potions. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that because it's my least favorite quest in the game. So I just stewed for the 80 fletching as well as only a +3 boost, so it wasn't that bad. And I was able to make myself about 1.5k Dragonbane bolts. Okay, so I think I'm finally about done with everything that I need to start killing QED. I just finished up another dungeon. I'm not going to continue, although I am only 100k away from a level, so if I get a daily dungeoneering challenge or something like that, I should be able to get the level. But at only 86, almost 87 DG, probably a little bit too late for this, we will be buying our first ever Chaotic. I haven't bought the Chaotic before. I've saved it until now, but I have 201k Dungeoneering tokens, Chaotic Crossbow, let's go. And yeah, it is, I guess, kind of a waste because I will be getting a Royal Crossbow soon, but I do need this Chaotic Crossbow in order to get a Royal Crossbow, so it's necessary, but now I can use this with the Dragonbane bolts, and it's going to be awesome. So I did try quite a few attempts at QBD, and I did manage, for the most part, to be successful. I think I got 6 kills in 8 attempts at QBD, and I was using pretty much the absolute best gear that I could possibly have. Black D hide chaps and vambraces. I did boost my crafting in order to make the chaps. Can't quite boost my crafting enough to make the body yet, so I was still stuck with the Ghost Hunter body. There's a couple things that I learned about QBD. I'm using pretty much the best setup that I can at my level. I was using offhand Blisterwood stakes, which are a tier 70 offhand, because I didn't want to get another 100k Dungeoneering tokens in order to make an offhand Chaotic Crossbow, and they're pretty good. Unfortunately, the only problem with the Blisterwood stakes is they really do kill your range, so that if you're standing too close to the middle of QBD, she can hit you with melee, even though you're ranging, just because you have such short range with the Blisterwood stakes. But other than that, it's pretty decent of an offhand weapon, and I was able to kill QBD for the most part successfully, but the unfortunate part about this is it's just a humongous drain on my supplies as things currently stand, because QBD hits very, very hard through this lower tier armor, and I'm only about 75 defense at the moment. So it is quite a struggle of killing QBD, and I think the main thing that I'm missing is super anti-fire potions. I will be able to get the 83 Herblore, and then I'd be able to boost, or I could stew for it, I guess, but with my bad experience with boosting with stews, in order to make the Dragonbane bolts, I didn't necessarily want to go through that again. But at 83 Herblore, I can boost using the God Banners to make the super anti-fire potions really, really easily, and it shouldn't take too long to get that, because all that I need in order to get to level 83 Herblore is just doing jacket trades every day. I do penguins, I spend the penguin points on Herblore, I spend every single little bit of extra XP that I can on Herblore, and it does all add up, and it is going to make sure that I get 83 Herblore, and a couple weeks or so, or maybe even a month, and during that time I'm going to train my defense and train my ranged quite a bit, and by the time I get super anti-fire potions I should be able to kill QBD much more easily, because as I said, I can get kills at the moment, but it takes quite a while to get the kills. It's like 3 minutes a kill, and then banking time takes another couple minutes, and on top of that I go through a whole ton of monkfish every single kill, so just the incredible drain on the supplies isn't really very practical at the moment, because I use up my monkfish so fast and my prayer pots and everything, so I should be okay just to slay with my chaotic crossbow and offhand blisterwood stakes. They're almost just as good as the royal crossbow, and I don't really need the royal until I start killing TDs yet, which I'm a ways off of doing anyway, so we're going to postpone this goal for a little bit longer. Okay, I will admit that this episode turned out to be a little bit of a disappointment in the end, but we unlocked some cool stuff. We did manage to get the Dragonbane bolts, which aren't a total wash, even though I don't quite have the stats to kill QBD yet, because I will be able to use them for Celestial Dragon tasks, and that will make Celestial Dragons significantly easier. So that's definitely a plus, but in all honesty, I really just need to raise this defense level up probably to 85 or 90 and get better armor before I can do QBD, because as things currently stand, I'm going to go through like 30 monkfish a kill, and that's just not very practical. So I am going to hold off on killing QBD until we can cut that down to maybe 10 or even 5 monkfish a kill. But speaking of monkfish, I have cooked a very large amount, almost 3k of them, so that should last me for some Slayer, and I'm ready to do that. So that's going to be all for this episode. In the next episode, we will be setting ourselves a new goal, probably combat or Slayer related, and I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching, and farewell.